Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Leon Ko. On behalf of the Shaw Prize Foundation, welcome to the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center, and thank you for attending the Shaw Prize Award Presentation Ceremony 2011. Dudu, I feel greatly honored to be able to share this podium with you again for the presentation of this distinguished international award.
Thank you very much, Leon. Same as previous years, tonight we have top-notch scientists and scholars from various parts of the world gathered together to witness the outstanding achievements of the laureates and to share their joyous moment.
Known as the Nobel Prize of the East, the Shaw Prize is one of the most representative international awards of its kind. Before the commencement of the Shaw Prize Award presentation ceremony, let us give a brief introduction of the Shaw Prize.
The Shaw Prize was established under the auspices of Mr. Run Run Shaw. It was first established in November 2002 and consists of 3 categories, namely the Shaw Prize in Astronomy, the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine, as well as the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences. The presentation ceremony was first held in 2004. It is an annual award and has been held for the 8th year running.
The purpose of the Shaw Prize is to honor individuals who are currently active in their respective fields and who have recently achieved distinguished and significant advances, who have made outstanding contributions in culture and the arts, or who in other domains have achieved excellence. The award is dedicated to furthering societal progress, enhancing quality of life, and enriching humanity's spiritual civilization.
The Shaw laureates this year have, of course, made outstanding achievements. Nomination and judging commenced in September last year. The results of the Shaw Prize 2011 were announced at the press conference held on 7th of June this year. There are 7 Shaw laureates this year, and tonight they are here to receive the honor.
Besides the Shaw laureates and our honorable guests, we have also invited student representatives from 8 universities and 3 tertiary institutes in Hong Kong to attend. They will meet with the world's distinguished scientists, and it's a good chance for them to exchange views with the laureates and to widen their perspectives in science and research.
Scientific research is a difficult task. Our scientists and scholars have dedicated their whole life in scientific research with their relentless efforts in the pursuit of knowledge and perseverance in trying to make scientific breakthroughs. They have set a very good example to our younger generation and would help to inspire them.
We're also honored to have the Shaw laureates to attend their period of stay in Hong Kong to visit 3 local universities and to deliver lectures on their studies and research. To enable the general public in Hong Kong, as well as academics all over the world, to have access to these very powerful lectures, they will be videotaped and uploaded on the Shaw Prize official website.
Leon, the ceremony will commence shortly. To ensure that the presentation will proceed smoothly, may we request our guests to kindly switch off your mobile phones. Also, on the table are special souvenirs to commemorate the occasion. Please do feel free to take one of each item before you leave.
Well, it is time for the commencement of the Shaw Prize Award Presentation Ceremony 2011.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise to welcome our officiating guest, the Honorable Donald Tsang, Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China, accompanied by Mrs. Selina Tsang. Mr. and Mrs. Tsang, please.
We now invite the 7 Shaw laureates to enter the presentation hall. Firstly, the Shaw laureates in Astronomy 2011. This year, we have 2 Shaw laureates in Astronomy. Firstly, Dr. Enrico Costa, please. Dr. Gerald J. Fishman, please.
Now we welcome the Shaw Laureates in Life Science and Medicine 2011. This year we have 3 Shaw Laureates. Firstly, Professor Jules A. Hoffman, please. And now, Professor Ruslan M. Majitov, please. Lastly, Professor Bruce A. Beutler, please.
Now we welcome the Shaw Laureates in Mathematical Sciences 2011. This year we have 2 Shaw Laureates. Firstly, Professor Dimitrios Christodoulou, please. And also Professor Richard S. Hamilton, please.
Now may we invite Mr. Run Run Shaw, founder of the Shaw Prize, to join us for the award presentation ceremony. Mr. Run Run Shaw, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The 7 laureates who are here tonight have made significant contributions to their respective fields of research. Not only have their groundbreaking findings shed new light on future research in science, but also play an important and far-reaching role in the advancement of mankind.
Each year, a large number of nominations for the 3 prizes have been received. The selection committees will select the nominated candidates and make proposal of award candidates. The board of adjudicators will then review the recommendations for the award of the Shaw Prize submitted. It must be a very difficult task to select the most outstanding nominees from all the recommendations. We would now like to invite the chairman of the Board of Adjudicators as well as chairman of the selection committee, each to deliver a speech. Firstly, may we invite the chairman of the Board of Adjudicators, Professor Chen-Ning Yang, to deliver a speech.
Professor Chen-Ning Yang, an eminent physicist, is currently the professor at Tsinghua University and distinguished professor at large at the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Professor Yang, please.
So, Run, Mr. Chief Executive, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, 3 Shaw Prizes will be awarded to 7 scientists for their distinguished contributions to astronomy, life science and medicine, and mathematical sciences. The first Shaw Prize Award ceremony took place in 2004. Since that time, including this year's awards, there have been altogether 25 Shaw Prizes awarded to 43 scientists in 3 fields. Astronomy is the oldest of all natural sciences. Indeed, Isaac Newton, who begot modern science, based his great tome on the works of earlier astronomers Tycho Brahe and Johannes Kepler. In the 60 years since World War II, the field has gone through explosive growth, yielding unbelievably mysterious and awesome discoveries, so that today, astronomy is the field that draws more freshman students than any other scientific discipline. Life sciences and medicine, likewise, has gone through stunning revolutions in the last 60 years, starting with the discovery of the double helix, the gene-to-protein dogma, and all subsequent miraculous understanding of various aspects of molecular biology. Mathematical sciences have also enjoyed vigorous growth in this period, both in depth and in breadth. Difficult old problems have been solved, and contacts with neighboring sciences, especially physics and astronomy, have produced new insight about the structure of the universe, both in the large and in the small. The Shaw Prize is proud to play a role in recognizing revolutionary advances in these vibrant and productive areas of modern scientific research. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Yang.
We now invite the chairman of the selection committee for the Shaw Prize in Astronomy, Professor Jiansheng Chen, to deliver a speech.
Professor Jiansheng Chen is a distinguished scientist in astrophysics and is now the director of the Department of Astronomy at Beijing University. Professor Chen, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Shaw Prize in Astronomy 2011 is awarded in equal shares to Enrico Costa and Gerard Fishman for their leadership of space mission that enable the demonstration of the cosmological origin of gamma-ray bursts. Gamma-ray bursts were first detected serendipitously in 1967 by gamma-ray detectors aboard the Vela satellites and were announced by Klebsato et al. In 1973. Work by Gerard Fishman and Enrico Costa in the last 2 decades have demonstrated that the gamma-ray bursts are of cosmological origin and are the brightest sources known in the universe. Gamma-ray bursts are intense flashes of gamma ray emanating from cosmic sources, lasting for a few seconds to minutes. During the flash, a gamma-ray burst outshines any stars and any galaxies in the universe. They appear so bright because they emit narrow beams of relativistic particles and are observed when these beams directed toward Earth. There are at least two distinct types of gamma-ray bursts. The long-duration bursts are associated with rare types of supernovae explosions and may be caused by the formation of a black hole at the center of a collapsing massive star. The short-duration bursts may be caused by the merger of two neutron stars. The gamma-ray burst sources manifest some of the most extreme physical environments in the universe. The ongoing study of gamma-ray bursts is one of the most exciting fields of astrophysics today. Gerald Fishman was principal investigator of the Bat-C experiment aboard the Compton Gamma-Ray Observatory. The experiment detects thousands of gamma-ray bursts distributed nearly uniformly in the sky, a strong evidence that the source of the gamma-ray bursts are located at a cosmological distance far beyond the Milky Way. Enrico Costa led the development of the Dutch-Italian satellite BPO-6, launched in 1996. An X-ray camera aboard the BPO-6 measured the accurate positions of the X-ray aftergrowth of the gamma-ray burst. That enabled observers using ground-based optical telescope to make the first identification of a gamma-ray burst with a distant galaxies and the first identification of a gamma-ray burst with a supernovae explosion, confirming their cosmological origin. For these outstanding achievements, Enrico Costa and Gerald Fishman were awarded the 2011 Shaw Prize in Astronomy. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Chan, and please take your seat.
By the chairman of the selection committee for the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine, Professor Yut Wai Kan, to deliver a speech.
Professor Yut Wai Kan is currently the Louis K. Diamond Professor of Hematology, Department of Medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, USA. He's also one of the first Shaw laureates of the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine. Professor Kan, please.
Mr. Chief Executive, Sir Run Run Shaw, ladies and gentlemen. The Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine is awarded to 3 scientists who have done path-breaking work that established the mechanism of innate immune system that enables us to respond immediately to infection. Jules Hoffman at the University of Strasbourg was mindful that innate immunity system is evolutionarily conserved. He studied the fruit fly and identified mutations that prevented it from making a protective immune response to the fungus Aspergillus. He showed that the antifungal immunity depended on the activation of a surface molecule called toll. Toll was previously known only for the role in establishing orientation of the fruit fly embryo and entirely unexpected for the role in innate immunity. This discovery immediately attracted the attention of scientists working in the immune system of higher animals, including humans. Ruslan Mechikov of Yale University and his then mentor, Charles A. Janeway Jr., recognized that humans might have a similar system for innate immune response. They asked whether there were human molecules that was related to the fruit fly, toll. By searching a database of human genes, they found a human homologue of toll that is now known as toll-like receptor. Meshikov showed that stimulation of the human toll-like receptor caused the production of a series of cytokines that were capable of initiating immediate inflammatory response to mobilize cells to eliminate pathogens. Bruce Beutler of the University of Texas Southwestern Medical School made a key contribution on what molecules stimulate the toll-like receptors. In a certain mutant mouse that were unable to respond to the endotoxin lipopolysaccharide, he showed that the mutant gene was precisely the toll-like receptor that Meshikov and Janeway has identified. Beutler's work established the paradigm that common bacterial products and later viral products mediated the activation of immune response by being recognized by toll-like receptors and other sensors of the innate immune system. These three scientists laid out the principles underlying the pathogen recognition and response model of the innate immune system. Their contributions have revolutionized our understanding of the innate immune system and provided targets for drug development. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Ken. And kindly take your seat.
As Professor Peter C. Sarnak, chairman of the selection committee for the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences, is unable to attend the ceremony tonight, we would invite Professor Margaret H. Wright, member of the selection committee, to address the audience. Professor Margaret Wright, please.
Professor Wright is currently Silver Professor of Computer Science and Mathematics, Current Institute of Mathematical Sciences, New York University, USA. Professor Wright, please.
Mr. Chief Executive, Sir Run and Lady Shaw, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to represent Peter Sarnak, who's chair of the selection committee for the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences, who's deeply unhappy that he could not be here tonight because he wanted very much to present these prizes and to make the speech that I'm about to give. In recent years, many outstanding and worthy nominations have been made for the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences. This year, two names, Dimitrios Christodoulou and Richard Hamilton, quickly rose to the top. The primary works of both of them involve the global behavior of nonlinear evolution equations in geometry, which is a large area in modern mathematics and mathematical physics. The central theme of their work is the formation of singularities for geometric evolution equations, which is a crucial question in general relativity and Riemannian geometry. Dimitrios's contributions are in mathematical physics, in particular partial differential equations describing physical phenomena. His study of the behavior of solutions to Einstein's equations in general relativity has shaped our understanding of the formularity of singularities such as black holes, as well as basic issues such as the stability of Minkowski space-time. He is unique in having a deep understanding and intuition about the underlying physics, while at the same time being a brilliant mathematician. This combination of traits has led him to rigorous treatments and discoveries of unexpected phenomena. Along the way, he has solved problems that had resisted progress for years. Turning now to Richard. Richard has made many contributions to geometric analysis. In particular, his Ricci flow, introduced to describe low-dimensional, positively curved spaces, is one of the great gifts to modern mathematics. Over the past 3 decades, Richard has led the way by developing a host of techniques to study the long-term behavior of his Ricci flow and to deal with singularities. His ideas have led to many results in geometry, topology, and physics connected with curvature flows. The most spectacular of these is Grigori Perelman's proof of Thurston's geometrization conjectures, which includes Poincaré as a special case, which builds on Richard's theory of Ricci flow. The resulting classification of three-dimensional shapes constitutes one of the finest achievements in mathematics. To sum up, the profound and innovative work of both Demetrios and Richard is very hard-earned, achieved only by sticking to their ideas and belief over a very long period of time. Their efforts and results are an inspiration to us all. Many congratulations to Demetrios and Richard. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Wright, and please take your seat.
The research findings of each of our Shaw laureates have undoubtedly made important and enormous contributions to mankind. As a recognition and acknowledgement to the outstanding contributions of the Shaw laureates, each prize bears a monetary award of $1 million, and each Shaw laureate will receive a certificate and a medal.
Many of the scientists would use the monetary award on researchers to make further breakthroughs in scientific studies. Some would share the award with other team members as an encouragement to fellow scientists.
Indeed, the Shaw Prize not only commends scientists for their outstanding achievements, it is also a driving force to encourage potential scientists for their further studies and researches which will benefit mankind and for the betterment of our future.
For all the Shaw laureates, the Shaw Prize is an international recognition and honor to them. I'm sure it'll be an unforgettable night for our laureates.
Well, we will now proceed to the Shaw Prize Award Presentation Ceremony 2011.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are much honored to have the Honorable Donald Zhang to officiate the presentation ceremony.
We now invite Mr. Donald Zhang to present the prizes to the Shaw Laureates 2011. Mr. Zhang, please.
First, we will present the Shaw Prize in Astronomy 2011. This year, the award is to be shared by two recipients. The first share goes to Dr. Enrico Costa.
Dr. Enrico Costa, who is currently the Director Research Institute of Space, Astrophysics and Cosmic Physics of the National Institute of Astrophysics, Italy.
With BEPOSAX, we arrived to understand where the gamma bursts are located, how distant they are, how much energy is really involved in this explosion.
Also, the recipient of the Shaw Prize in Astronomy 2011 is Dr. Gerald Fishman.
Dr. Gerald Fishman, who is currently the Senior Astrophysicist, NASA, Marshall Space Flight Center, USA.
Several hundred people were working on BATSI during its design and development and testing. It was actually the first large experiment totally dedicated to studying the gamma ray burst mystery.
First, we would like to invite the Shaw Laureate in Astronomy 2011, Dr. Enrico Costa. Dr. Costa, please.
Chief Executive, Mr. Ranran Shaw, Mrs. Shaw, members of the Council and of the Board of Adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen, I'm grateful and honored to accept the Shaw Prize and to share it with Jerry Fishman. Studying the universe is a world choice of life. I want to thank for their encouragement my parents, my wife and colleague Alda, and my children Ettore and Elettra, who allowed me to combine my work with my parental duties. Modern research is based on large teams. This is especially true for our discovery that was based on a peculiar concatenated use of different instruments aboard Beppo-Sachs satellite, but was completed by the contribution of scientists that use the best optical and radio telescope in the world, steered by our Beppo-Sachs observation. I had the privilege and the chance to drive this activity and to leave the disclosure of this long-standing mystery of astrophysics. This was thanks to Professor Scarsi and the Italian Space Agency, who made the SACS a reality, to Dr. Piro, who led the Beppo-Sachs science operations and joined our research, to the scientific and engineering teams that guaranteed the excellent performance of both ground and space segments of Beppo-Sachs. Most of all, I want to acknowledge Professor Frontera, who shared with me all this adventure from the very beginning to the completion. After Beppo-Sachs, gamma bursts are no more a mystery, but a probe to study the remote universe and the birth of black holes. More great discoveries will come. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Costa, and please take your seat on stage.
We now invite also the Shaw Laureate in Astronomy 2011, Dr. Gerald Fishman, to deliver his acceptance speech. Dr. Fishman, please.
Honorable Chief Executive, Mr. and Mrs. Shaw, and distinguished guests, the Shaw Prize in Astronomy is one of the highest awards that can be bestowed in this field. I am greatly honored to receive it. Mankind has always wondered about objects in the sky. Thanks to space-based astronomy, we are now not only finding out more about objects we already knew were in the sky, but we're finding out we have entirely new types of objects that never existed before to mankind. Perhaps one of the most exotic and mysterious objects discovered in the past century are the gamma ray bursts. I was fortunate to have chosen a good puzzle to work on, and I was also fortunate to work on this puzzle with a competent and dedicated team. Discoveries in science are no longer made by a single scientist or even by a few scientists in a laboratory or at a telescope. It takes a team of scientists, engineers, and technicians to make these advances. Two of my colleagues who participated in the initial development of the instrument in 1976 are with me here this evening, Dr. Charles Megan and Dr. Thomas Parnell. Also with me is my lovely and supporting wife, Nancy, my two daughters, and other family members who also came to Hong Kong to be present for this great honor. I accept this honor with great gratitude. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fishman, and please take your seat on stage. Now comes the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine 2011. This year, the award is to be shared by 3 recipients. The first share goes to Professor Jules Hoffman.
Professor Jules Hoffman, who is currently the professor of the University of Strasbourg, France.
By introducing in this fly a normal toll receptor, and the fly again will be able to withstand the infection as wild types. This was really a very early evolutionary response to infection. It attracted considerable interest in the community.
Also the recipient of the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine 2011 is Professor Ruslan Meshetov.
Professor Ruslan Meshetov who is currently the David W. Wallace Professor of Immunobiology, Yale University, USA.
What I was looking for initially was a receptor that would be able to activate a certain signaling pathway.
And also the recipient of the Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine 2011 is Professor Bruce Beutler.
Professor Bruce Beutler, who is currently Raymond and Ellen Willey Distinguished Chair in Cancer Research and Director, Center for Genetics of Host Defense, the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, Dallas, USA.
The consequence of that was to change a certain protein, TLR4, so that it no longer signaled the presence of endotoxin, of LPS.
Firstly, we would invite Professor Jules Hoffman to deliver his acceptance speech. Professor Hoffman, please.
Mr. Chief Executive, Mr. and Lady Shaw, honored members of the Shaw Foundation and the Shaw Prize Selection Committee, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great happiness and deep humility that I accept this tremendous honor which is bestowed on me this evening. I'm particularly glad to share this year's prize in Life Sciences and Medicine with my longtime friends and colleagues, Rosalind Mechitov and Bruce Beutler. My research background is zoology. I'm delighted to see that studies on humble organisms like insects can lead to findings relevant to medicine, and that their results qualify for the prestigious Shaw Prize in Life Science and Medicine. We did not expect this outcome when we started some 30 years ago our journey into the antimicrobial defenses of insects. And I deeply appreciate the scientific open-mindedness of the selection committee. This evening, my thoughts go to my mentors, who not only taught me the basics of science, but also the requirements of effort, courage, and fairness for a scientific journey. The results which are being honored here were obtained with a large group of enthusiastic associates and students, and I express my admiration and deep gratitude to all of them. I'm extremely grateful to my parents, now deceased, for their love and support. I take much of my strength from a happy family life, and I'm grateful to my 2 children and their families, including 4 grandchildren, for the pleasure and pride which they give us. My deepest appreciation goes to my wife, who was not only a wonderful partner in our family life for more than 4 decades now, but who was also a stimulating and efficient associate in this scientific endeavor. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Hoffman, and please take your seat on stage.
We now invite the Shaw Laureate in Life Science and Medicine 2011, Professor Ruslan Mechitov, to deliver his acceptance speech. Professor Mechitov, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank Sir Ranran Shaw and the members of selection and advisory committees for bestowing me with the honor of this prestigious prize. In modern science, no man is an island, and I accept this award on behalf of many talented students and postdoctoral fellows who worked with me over the years, and on behalf of all the scientists who contributed to the development of our field. In particular, I accept this award on behalf of my mentor, colleague, and friend, the late Charles Janeway Jr., whose vision paved the way for me and many others. It is this distinct honor for me to share this stage with the past and present laureates of the Shaw Prize. I feel humbled by their greatness and their accomplishments. I would like to thank my family, my parents, my wife Akiko, and now daughters Emmy and Naomi for their love and support. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mechitov, and please take your seat on stage.
Now, also the Shaw Laureate in Life Science and Medicine 2011, Professor Bruce Beutler, to deliver his acceptance speech. Professor Beutler, please.
Mr. Chief Executive, Sir Run Shaw, Lady Shaw, honorable guests, it's a great pleasure to accept this award tonight. I take it as an affirmation that our years spent in the search for the mammalian endotoxin receptor were well spent, and I'm most grateful that it's perceived this way. Ours was a tough, large-scale scientific effort, the largest and one of the last of its kind, because the game changed considerably after the mouse and human genomes were sequenced. I would like to credit my parents for this award, and in particular my father, who passed away 3 years ago. He was himself an extraordinary biomedical scientist, and he introduced me to scientific work at a young age. Also Alexander Poltorak and Betsy Layton, who worked with me in cloning the LPS receptor and who never lost courage nor shied away from hard work, deserve my thanks. Nadia Krochin, who is here tonight, exhorted me to carry on when things looked bleak as we explored a vast desert of genomic DNA for genes, trying and for a long time failing to find what we knew must be there. 5 years into the project, she alluded to Mount Everest and told me, "You're just at the Hillary step," and so it was that we found the mutation only a couple weeks later. My sons, Danny, Elliot, and Jonathan, have also come to celebrate with me tonight. I want to acknowledge them too, because a part of my motivation was always to set an example for them to follow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Beutler. And please take your seat on stage. The Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences 2011. This year, the award is to be equally shared by 2 recipients. The first share goes to Professor Dimitrios Christodoulou.
Professor Dimitrios Christodoulou, who is currently Professor of Mathematics and Physics, ETH Zurich, Switzerland.
The trap surface must be contained in a black hole, which is inaccessible to observation from within. It could not be proved that such surfaces actually form in evolution, but I did find such an effect.
Also the recipient of the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences 2011 is Professor Richard Hamilton.
Professor Richard Hamilton, who is currently Davis Professor of Mathematics, Columbia University, USA.
You have some odd shape that you start with, and then you run this flow, and then it turns into something that's very uniform with an equal curvature.
Firstly, we would invite Professor Dimitrios Christodoulou to deliver his acceptance speech. Professor Christodoulou, please.
Chief Executive, Sir Run Shaw, Lady Shaw, Professor Yang, members of the Selection Committee, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored by the award to me of the Shaw Prize in Mathematical Sciences. I am especially happy to be sharing this prize with my friend Richard Hamilton, to whom I feel close intellectual affinity. as we join the illustrious line of previous Shaw laureates in mathematics, initiated by the great geometer Xing Chern, I am elated to have been deemed worthy to follow, but I also feel humility. I was fortunate to have John Wheeler as my teacher in physics when I was very young. Physics is a wonderful source of mathematical problems. I owe a lot to Jürgen Ehlers, who recognized that I had mathematical talent and gave me unlimited leave to study mathematics in Paris. Also to Yvonne Choquet-Bruhat, near whom I learned analysis, and to Xing-Tung Yao, who taught me geometry and geometric analysis. I also recall my colleague Sergio Kleinerman and our intensive joint effort, which led to the first milestone in our field, the proof of the stability of the Minkowski spacetime. In life, I had the fortune of having a loving father, Lambros, and mother, Maria. I owe my well-being, which allowed me to press on my research efforts, to my beautiful and loving wife, Nicoletta. I also have two beautiful daughters, Penelope and Alexandra, and a fine stepson, Alexander. My deepest respects go to the Shaw Foundation for recognizing the contribution of mathematicians to human culture and civilization. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Christodoulou, and please take your seat on stage.
And now Professor Richard Hamilton, also Shaw Laureate in Mathematical Sciences 2011, to deliver his acceptance speech. Professor Hamilton, please.
Mr. Chief Executive Donald Tsang, Sir Run Shaw and Lady Shaw, members of the Shaw Council, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply honored to receive the Shaw Prize tonight. It is very, very significant, and I'm especially delighted to share it with my very good friend and colleague, Dimitri Christodoulou, whose work is so parallel to mine that they're almost like brothers, although he worked on a hyperbolic equation and I on a parabolic one, but in very similar settings. Over the years, many people have helped me with work on the Ricci flow and the Poincare conjecture, and I'd like to thank them, beginning with James Eales Jr., who first suggested to me working on the problem with partial differential equations, and whose work with Joe Sampson on the harmonic map flow was indeed a model for the Ricci flow, all the way through Gregory Perelman, who finally completed the program that I developed. And I'm very grateful to him for finishing it. And his work on the Ricci flow is absolutely brilliant and inspired and is as important as mine. And I'd especially like to thank my very good friend, Xing-Tung Yao, who has been a source of great support and encouragement over the years, and also provided me with many excellent ideas, starting with the very idea that the Ricci flow would pinch off necks and break a manifold up into pieces. It's hard for you probably to imagine how impossible and foolish this all seemed back when I started working on it in the mid-70s. But over the years, the techniques of nonlinear partial differential equations have developed to be so powerful that now we can attack all kinds of problems and do all kinds of things that were only dreams back then. And so no one is more surprised that it worked and that I'm here tonight than myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Hamilton, and please take your seat on stage. We now invite our officiating guest, the Honorable Donald Zhang, and the 7 laureates to take a photograph to commemorate this great occasion. Congratulations to all the 7 Shaw laureates. We are also very pleased to learn that this year's Shaw laureates in life science and medicine Professor Bruce Beutler. And Professor Jules Hoffman have just been awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine 2011 for their discoveries concerning the activation of innate immunity. Furthermore, the Shaw Laureates in Astronomy 2006, Professor Saur Permitta, Professor Brian Schmidt, and Professor Adam Rees, have also been awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics 2011 for the discovery of the exhilarating expansion of the universe through observations of distant supernovae. Once again, congratulations to all our Shaw Laureates.
On behalf of the Shaw Prize Foundation, we wish to thank all our Shaw Laureates for flying all the way to Hong Kong to attend the presentation ceremony. This is also an excellent opportunity for our distinguished scientists to get together and share their invaluable experiences, which no doubt will be of great benefit to scientific research.
Well, let us now relax and enjoy the rest of the evening. Dinner is now ready, and Dennis Lucien will perform live music for your enjoyment tonight. Please enjoy your dinner. Dennis Lucien, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Shaw Prize Award Presentation Ceremony 2011 has now come to a successful conclusion. We wish to take this opportunity to thank the adjudicators and members of the Shaw Prize Foundation for their dedication and contributions to the Shaw Prize.
We have specially prepared some souvenirs to commemorate the occasion. Please do feel free to take one of each item before you leave.
And we would like to ask the 7 Shaw laureates, their family members and friends to stay behind and come up on stage for a photo session.
Of course, all guests are welcome to meet with our Shaw laureates afterwards. I'm sure you will treasure this golden opportunity.
Scientific research has embedded boundless possibilities. We look forward to seeing you again next year and to witness more accomplishments of distinguished scientists and scholars.
Thank you, good night, goodbye, and see you next year.
Thank you, goodbye.